So we got back to the mountain country. We're like 7,000 feet. And we had put out with some of the people that we know around here that if anyone needed anything or any help with projects while we were in town, we would come and help them. We had one friend say she knew a lady who has a orphanage who wants to start a school, and they had bought a farm and they were looking to find water on it so they could build a school. So we went up there and located. I forgot to take pictures and video, but it was a really good time getting to know that person. And then we came back and then spent part of the next day, or actually it was the same day, hanging out with the lady that hooked us up with that other person. And she owns, or not owns, but out of her house has an orphanage. She has like 6 kids, I think. Something like that. And they're all special needs kids. So we're talking about kids with learning disabilities or physical disabilities. And yeah, wow. The work she does is just insane. It takes a special person to take care of those special little kids. And I'm not talking about like special, like disability special. I'm talking about these kids are truly special. When you meet them, you're like overwhelmed by their by their beauty, like their inside beauty. And so it was really I just don't know how to explain it. But seeing those kids and their smiling faces it was amazing. So yeah. So then we went around. We spent some time in the city, Antigua, the cobble streets, kind of just walking around, unwinding. Maybe just like letting our brains decompress from we did a lot of stuff over the last 2 weeks, and it's been really no time to process it. So I think it's been good to take a couple of days at the end here to decompress. But I'll show you some of the stuff we got to do, and yeah, talk to you soon. All right, so we're winding down our trip. Decided since we're staying so close to Antigua that we would just come spend the day and a half down here, unwinding, decompressing, and talking about what we experienced. Also, I'm not feeling that great, so I'm going to go ahead and fast, which is terrible because they have some decent food down here. Oh well. So we're just going to spend the day hanging out as a unit and chilling. Right now we're at a little juice bar, and they've got some really great smoothies, and so the family's going to get those, and then we're going to walk around the cobblestone streets, as you can see over here. Really cool place. We'll show some pictures of that. Catch you guys in a little bit. So this is the night before our last night. But I just wanted to get a quick interview with each of the kids that came with us on this trip. I've got a couple questions I'm going to ask them, and they're going to answer. So here we go. I'm going to start with Riley. Hello, Riley. How are you?
Hi.
You good?
I'm feeling great.
That's great. So, why did you come on this trip?
I came. I couldn't see wanting to stay home, and I wanted to come home for a while.
Yeah. You wanted to come home?
It's been 5 years since I've seen my dear friends here, and I love working here, and I missed it. I needed to come back.
All right. I love that. So, what value do you think this trip had, either for you or for those we were serving? And you can answer for both those.
Yeah,
It could be
okay.
a two-part question.
It was really emotional for me at times, especially when we were seeing the people that we hadn't seen for a while, and we were bringing them things that we knew they needed and giving them things that would make their lives easier. It was emotional for me to be back in this land, in this place with those people. So I guess the value that I took out of it was how strongly helping someone has an impact on me. And I feel like that is in the Bible. It's an important thing. We should probably be pretty impacted by that.
Yeah.
Helping your brethren.
Yeah, for sure.
As for the people who we were helping, I couldn't say that I could speak for them, but I know that they were very grateful for us coming and finding the water so that they didn't have to drill dry wells, and it was really important.
Yeah. This question really isn't for you, but maybe you can retrospect like a few years. How did you view those we served before we came, and then after? After. But you could obviously you've been here before, so think back to before we lived here.
Oh, is this a question for a first timer?
Yeah, but two of you are not, so.
Yes.
But I'm gonna ask you anyways, because you can think back and remember what you thought.
I do remember what I thought. I've kind of grown past expectations, and Guatemala is a big reason for that, because when we first came here, I had a lot of expectations, and I kind of imagined what the people would be like, and what I would be walking into, to live in, to be with, but I was in a total shock when I found out the truth.
Yeah. It was just different than you expected.
It's just a lot different than I expected.
Yeah.
Not what I imagined at all. Yeah, just how God kind of changed our focus for a while.
Awesome. All right. So what would you say to someone who is thinking about serving abroad? What kind of encouragement would you give them?
If God's calling you, do it, and don't have any expectations when you go into it. And maybe don't look up what you need to go, but get in contact with people who are already there. And as for the people abroad that God's calling you to, they need you.
Yeah.
So go. That's my only word of advice.
And maybe even you need them, right?
Exactly. And honestly, that's true.
It is true.
I think I've reaped more than I've ever given. I think I've drawn back and received more blessings from these people than I personally could have ever given them. It's so precious.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks for taking a couple minutes here and doing that with me. So next I'm going to ask the same questions to Wyatt. He's also a child of mine. And He's a little more quiet, so he's probably not going to give us very long answers, but they'll be short and sweet. Let's see what he has to say. Okay, so how are you doing tonight?
Fine.
Yeah?
Good.
Good.
Just hanging out.
Good. Okay, so I'm just going to ask you a few questions. They're not very deep, I guess, but maybe they are. Why did you come on this trip? Other than the fact that you're 17. I mean, you could have stayed home, I guess, if you really didn't want to come.
I guess to help people, and it's our calling. I mean, Jesus says to go out and make disciples and to show His love.
Nice. What value did this trip have either for you and or those we served? Perceived value. I mean, obviously we don't know what value they had, but
Yeah, I mean, I think for them, I hope we brought them hope and a little extra boost of faith,
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I don't know, I guess kind of just helping me realize how good I have it again. I mean, I knew before, but I guess I kind of lost it.
Yeah, sometimes
the
we
last 5 years.
forget about stuff, right?
Yeah, and I guess I found a couple more ways that I could probably help.
Good. All right. So, what would you say to someone who is thinking about serving abroad?
Do it. Don't have expectations of it. Pray about it. Just go do it.
Nice.
And go prepared.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah.
Go eat your corn.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. So how are you doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, good.
Uh-huh.
Okay, just a couple questions. They're pretty easy.
Okay.
So, Alexa, why did you come on this trip?
Because I've always wanted to travel, and the opportunity came up to go with you guys, my best friends in the entire world.
All right, so what do you hope that the people we served got from what we did for them?
Well, I hope that all that we were doing with the water locating and everything ends up being beneficial and helpful to them, and I hope I showed love to everybody. And
Okay, that's good. I like it. So this next question might be difficult, but just be as honest as possible.
okay.
How did you view these people that we served before you came versus after? Did you have any expectations about what they would be like?
Not like a solid concrete idea, but from being with them and seeing them, I have a lot of respect for the way that they live and that they're able to survive with the means that they have and the skills and abilities that they have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. All right, so what would you say to someone who is thinking about serving abroad?
Definitely go with people that you trust and love and know is going to watch out for you and take care of you, if possible. That's a definite thing I would recommend. And be prepared to be in uncomfortable situations, but don't let it scare you out of not going, because by the end of it, it's going to not even matter, because you're most likely going to have a great time.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for taking the time and talking with me. Hey, babe.
Hey.
I just wanted to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
How do you think the trip went?
I think the trip went really well. We were safe on the road, so I was thankful for that. We got to see some friends that we really missed. And we were able to do 14 different places for surveys, so I feel like that was really good.
So, like normal when we go, Like we usually have like an idea of what we're gonna do,
Yeah.
but then usually it changes,
Mm-hmm.
or like the scope of our mission continues to evolve.
Right.
Where do you think? Where do you see this going?
Well, I feel like it, unless there ends up being like drilling organizations in areas where we normally like to go do some locating, but there is no driller to drill after us, we probably will focus more on like the Patin area for our water locating. But we would, I think after this trip, we've realized that we would prefer to do like water catchment systems. I'm not sure what you'd call that.
Yeah, rain catchment.
Rain catchment. In maybe like Chisek area where they don't have drillers, and if they do have drillers, they want, you know, more than we pay for a well in Idaho or Washington or any of those places. And these people obviously cannot afford that. We can't even afford that. We don't even have a well, obviously. So maybe like being able to purchase big water containers and some gutters and pipes and things like that, and provide water filters for people, because they aren't going to be getting deep well water, but they can still have a water filter and have just as good of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. So you think it was a pretty successful trip then?
It was really successful, and actually, I actually was starting to think every time we go on a mission trip, I'm like, okay, we're gonna do A, B, C, and D, and it never ends up that way. So when we first got here, I was like, oh my gosh, are we even gonna be able to get what we thought we were gonna get done? And then we got everything done that we thought we would, so it worked out.
It always works out, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Awesome. Well, thanks for taking a minute to do that.
all right.
But,
The place is so my favorite.
yeah, what do you think about the people here?
Oh, they're nice to me.
They're nice to you?
Yeah,
Did you like helping them?
yeah.
Did they help you at all?
Uh,
Did they play with you?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do you think you can be friends with them again?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. What do you think that this place is beautiful?
Yeah.
Anything else?
No more.
That's it?
Yeah.
You want to go home or stay here?
I want to stay here.
Yeah, that's what I thought.